Okay, friends, now we'll quickly see the solution, how we approach this thing. The use case is a very interesting use case where we are building a stock agent, and the objective of the stock agent would be to guide us during our investment decisions. So that is the end objective of what we are trying to achieve. So let me scroll all the way down to the end of the notebook to show you what the stock agent is capable of doing. If you scroll all the way down, this is what the stock agent will do for us. If I say, should we hold the NVIDIA stock? Should we sell or hold the NVIDIA stock? If I ask it a question like this, the agent will be able to answer. The agent will be able to answer. The final answer will be, please consider your investment strategy. And you can see it actually says, I'm not able to determine whether to hold it or not. This is very interesting. But maybe I can look at another question. Should we sell or hold the Johnson and Johnson stock? And let's see what it says. What is the final answer it gives? So it sees the recommendation is coming as hold the stock for now, but closely monitor. Okay, so this is the kind of agent that we want to build. This is the end result. But there's a lot of things we are doing behind the scenes. And part of this objective was to understand the process flow. That's why I wanted everybody to read the problem statement. So this is the process flow. Investors ask the agent whether to sell or hold a specific stock. The agent gathers relevant financial metrics, news articles, insider transactions, and market trends. And we will see later on that we will create tools for each of these things. So we will create a separate tool for the news stories, the latest news articles. We'll create a separate tool for the financial metrics. We'll create a separate tool for the insider transactions. Okay. Financial ratios are computed, insider transactions are evaluated, and sentiment analysis is conducted on the news. So this is a very powerful application where we will look at the news story. So next time I ask the question that should I sell or hold the Nvidia stock, it will not only look at the current market indicators, but it will also look at all the news story concerning Nvidia, and it will give me the recommendation based on that. So that is exactly what we are doing in this exercise. In my Python function that we will define shortly, we'll be able to connect to the news API, and we'll be able to get the sentiment of the news story, and based on that, the decisions will be taken. Okay, so it's quite an advanced use case that we are seeing. Okay, we also have the stock DB database is given to you, and this is consisting of all the typical financial ratios for all the different organizations. So all the different macro factors are present in my stock DB. Okay, so just to highlight that also to you. So you can see this is the overall process flow. This is the overall process flow and all the different tools that we will be creating. And maybe I can take a minute here to walk you through exactly what we will do as part of this exercise. Okay. So the first thing will be, this is the overall high level fin agent, right? So you can see this is the high level fin agent that we have. This is the overall fin agent that we are trying to create. So that's the high level fin agent that we are trying to create. And remember, I also told you what is an agent. An agent is LLM plus tools, right? So the fin agent will be driven by a GPT-4 Omni model. So there'll be an LLM which is nothing but our GPT-4 Omni model. This is the agent that is working behind the scenes. Okay, sorry, this is the LLM that is working behind the scenes. And this fin agent will be consisting of multiple tools. So there are multiple tools that will be part of this agent, right? Let me write this a little better. So this is the GPT-4 model. This is the LLM that is working. So what is the LLM? The LLM is the GPT-4 Omni model. That's the LLM. And there are tools. What are the tools? There is the insider transactions tool. Let me write it down. Insider transaction, this is the tool. I'll put a square box around it, right? It provides data on insider trades. Okay, so we will actually use some kind of an API to do this. Okay, we'll get this data online. So we'll see this how to do this. Okay, there's a particular website we will connect to where all the typical insider transactions are historically listed, because insider transaction is typically public data. So whenever an insider transaction is discovered, it will be listed out. Okay, so we want to take a decision based on the insider transactions. If too much of frauds are happening, then maybe that stock will not be a great recommendation. Okay, so we'll see how we can define this inside a transactions tool, which will connect to some website and it will give me the relevant indicators from that. Okay, so that's the thing that we will see. We also have a tool for getting the current stock data. So this is the current stock data tool that we have. Okay, so what is the current stock data tool? It will keep me the current stock price, the current stock data. So that is the tool we have for the current stock data. So let me just put a square bracket, and this is the current stock data, stock price tool. This is also an important factor, right? Because if you have to take a decision whether to sell or hold a stock, the current price matters. The current price matters because if the current price has increased a lot, then you might want to, kind of sell the stock to take the profits. Then we have a news agent. The news agent is something that we will create. So this is the high level agent, fin agent, but within the fin agent, there'll be a news agent we will create. And what will the news agent do? Agent is nothing but LLM plus tool. So this will again be driven by some GPT model, and it will have tools. What kind of tool integrations will it have? It will connect to news websites, some kind of news APIs it will connect to. Okay, so this is the entire agent we will create. So first we will create the news agent, okay, LLM plus tools, and then this agent we will wrap it as a tool. We will wrap it as a tool, and then we will use that tool as part of the high level agent. See how we do the workflow? So first we create the agent, we create the news agent independently, and then we wrap it as a tool to use it as a tool for the high level, the top level finance agent. Okay, so that's what we will basically do. And the same workflow happens for the SQL agent. So we'll first create the agent. This is the same thing I showed you in the last demo. Remember there was a create SQL agent that is available by default in LangChain. So we will use the create SQL agent, which is a default in LangChain. So we will use the create SQL agent. And based on the create SQL agent, what we will do is we will go and write a query in English. And based on the English query, the SQL agent will generate the answers. It will generate the SQL query and give me the answers. Okay. And this is where the your SQL DB, the database, will be used. Okay. So it converts natural language into SQL queries. It converts natural language into SQL queries to extract stock details, fundamental ratios, and technicals from a database, which I have already given to you. Okay. So this I will wrap it as a tool. So the end result would be, so first I will create these 4 tools, and then we will wrap these 4 tools and wrap it as and create this final agent. So this is going to be the end result of this exercise. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the whole workflow, because once we have the whole workflow at the back of our mind, the implementation is very, very straightforward. So I'll quickly breeze through the implementation. Okay. So first we are instantiating this one, the LLM, the language model you can see. And here we give a very detailed system message. We did not see this before because before we were using default system messages, but here we are giving a very detailed customized system message as to what we want to do. Even for the create SQL agent, we are giving a customized, system message. You can see this is what we are doing. And here goes the create SQL agent. We already used this in the last demo, but the only additional part is we are giving the prompt. Otherwise, before we were using the default prompt, but here we are giving a specific prompt, what we wanted to do. That's it. And now, next part is I told you we have to convert the agent to a tool because we want to use it in our fin agent, the main agent. Okay, and agents can only use the tools. Okay, so you can see that we are wrapping it as a tool, and it is nothing but we are creating a function. Okay, so this is that SQL agent.invoke we are doing inside the function. This is that agent we created, and we are wrapping this as a function. Okay, I told you already that this use a simple Python function to create a tool, right? So this is the SQL tool that we instantiate, and this part is very, very important. You have to describe the tool very effectively, what the tool is supposed to do. So the tool description is very important, and this is what the large language model, the main fin agent, will see to take decisions. So when you are asking the fin agent a question, when you're giving it a query, it will look at the description to decide which tool to call. So that's the thing that we are actually doing right now. Okay, so now moving on, we can test the tool. What are the fundamentals of Apple ticker symbol AAPL for today? And given this question, the SQL agent will go through the database and it will try to find the relevant queries and it will answer that question for you. Okay, it will actually give you all the fundamentals for Apple. Okay, so you can see this is the answer it will give you. Provide me the financial information of Microsoft, like revenue, profit, and EBITDA for today. And you can scroll down and you can see what kind of answer it is giving. Okay, so this is the first SQL tool that we created. Second, we're creating a news research agent, and then we will wrap it as a tool. How do we do that? Let's see. So we will define, we will again wrap it as a function. And remember the news, there are two types of news that we will have. There are two types of news that we will have. One is there'll be a company news, and second, there'll be an industry news. Both are important, right? Let's say if we talk about NVIDIA, NVIDIA is a company, but what is the industry of NVIDIA? Semiconductors. Okay, so we want to know how both are performing. What is the sentiment of both? So not just the company, but even the industry also matters. So the company is okay, that's one part, but even the industry matters. So if you talk about the FMCG industry, not all the companies are doing well, right? If you talk about the semiconductor industry, not all the companies are doing well. NVIDIA is doing very well, but are all the semiconductor companies doing well? No. So both the things matter. Industry news matters, company news matters for me to take a stock specific decision. Okay. So now moving on. And we are actually using some kind of an API here. I won't take you through all this right now. You can go through this all, but this is actually where we are creating the function. And within the function, I explicitly define the company news and the industry news. And the end result, what I do is I wrap it as a tool. If you see what I do is, let me scroll down and show you. This is the part where I'm wrapping this whole thing as a tool. Okay, so we create the final news agent. See, the news agent is a combination of the two tools, right? You can see this is the news agent that we created. So the agent, the LLM, and the tools. What are the tools? The tools are company news and industry news. So we created those two functions, right? So first we create the news agent, and then we convert the news agent to a tool. Okay, this is how we convert it to a tool. And now we can simply call the news agent tool, the top level news agent tool. And when I do that, when I give an argument of company NVIDIA, see what it does. It actually uh, is able to find out the real-time company news of NVIDIA. And it is also able to find out the real-time industry news of NVIDIA. So it does two things. First, based on the company, it finds out what is the industry. Industry keywords are semiconductor, AI, GPUs, technology. And now it's able to find out. So this is NVIDIA specific insights. And this is in industry specific insights based on this thing. It is using also a kind of a retrieval augmented generation technique. So it's looking at those keywords, fetching the relevant news stories, and summarizing the information for me. So that is how this entire news agent will work behind the scenes. And the final end result will be something like this. Okay, create a tool to fetch insider transactions. And I told you there's a website from which we are taking this. So this is how we are getting the insider transactions tool. And similarly, we are also creating the this thing, the last part, which is for the current stock price. Okay, so the current stock price is what we are getting from Alpha Vantage, and insider transactions is what we are also getting from this thing called Alpha Vantage. And now we will create the top level Fin agent. Remember, we have got four tools that we have separately defined, and now that we have defined the four tools separately, now we will create the top level Fin agent. So that is what we are doing now. So we have the SQL tool, the get stock price tool, the insider transactions tool, and the news tool. Okay, and so we simply combine these tools, and this is how we create the final Fin agent. Okay, so remember the agent is a combination of the LLM, the language model, the tools, and the prompt. The prompt is the React prompt, and this is something we already created. This is nothing but the entire prompt, which consists of the system message, the user message. We call it a human message actually. This is again a specific syntax thing. So user message is also called human message, and this is part of the whole prompt. And now that this is ready, you can test out the final Fin agent. Okay, and this you can actually deploy as an application.